This conference will now be recorded.
Hey everyone, good morning and good evening. So myself, Rohit Kumar Singh. Let me set the agenda for today, what exactly we're gonna do today. So it's just a quick session about what this course is all about and a quick introduction about myself, like who exactly I am. Okay, so that is what we're gonna do. I'll give you a quick overview about the overall course, the duration, when the course will start, and most importantly, how many months it will take. And there, I know there are various questions. We'll take a Q&A at the end of this slide. I know there will be multiple questions you guys might be having, what this course is and things like that. Okay, and the scope and everything. We'll have a discussion post this. It's a very small slide, guys. Hardly it will take 20 minutes, and post that I'll start taking questions. About the course, this is the 11th batch. Okay, so we are already done with ADP 10. Azure DevOps 10th batch was already done. Now this is the 11th batch what we are conducting. Okay. Earlier I used to have Azure DevOps course. Now we have upgraded the course and now we are calling this course as DevSecOps because there are multiple security tools we have integrated. Now it's not just DevOps. Okay. If you just have DevOps knowledge, it's very difficult to get hired. So in order to looking into what's happening in the market, and I have upgraded my course. So let me give you a quick understanding like what exactly this about myself. Then I'll talk about the course. Then we'll start taking the Q&A. A quick check: is my screen and my voice audible and visible to you all? A quick yes in the chat.
Yes, yes, Rohit.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Okay, so to start with, this is the course we call now Advanced Azure DevSecOps. Okay, this is myself, Rohit Kumar Singh. Now, the agenda for today's is we'll know about me more, like what is my background, how many years of experience I have, am I working in the same field or I'm just teaching. All those we'll discuss today. Then we'll talk about the course highlights, what this course is all about. We'll see the focal points, okay, and we'll see the roadmap. Okay, it's a pretty big course, guys. It takes more than 3 months. Okay, it's a pretty big course, so you have to be with me for at least three and a half months. Okay, and the course content. We'll see what are the different projects we are covering, what are the segments we are covering, what are the domains we are covering. All those we'll talk about in this last topic. Okay, to talk about myself, I have 12 plus, so it's 12 now. Like it's not updated. It's for 13 to 14 plus years of experience I have in IT industry. I have worked with many multinationals. To name few, I've worked with JP Morgan, I have worked with HP, and I have worked with multiple startups as well. To name Bark, that was a startup, Indian startup I was working with. Currently, I'm working as a DevOps lead. I'm still working, guys. So I'm not just training. Training is just part time. I'm working as a full time employee. It's written DevOps lead, but I'm playing a role of a solution architect now. I am in US right now, so I am in CST time zone. Okay, so Indian folks might find difficult connecting with me, but don't worry. After this, once you guys start enrolling, we'll have a WhatsApp chat created, and you can put your thoughts and your doubts, everything in the chat, and I'll be responding as per my availability. Don't worry if no one else responds. I'll be definitely responding when I start my day. Okay. I have trained many people, many students offline, online. I do have my own YouTube channel. I do have my course on Udemy and everything. You guys can check it. You can even check my LinkedIn page for more information, like which company I'm working, what portfolio I'm working, and those. So my LinkedIn is completely up to date. So you can go and connect with me if you want. Okay. I've done many certification, guys. I have not noted all the certification, what all things I have done. Just to name few, I'm a DevOps Master certified. I'm AZ400 certified. I'm RHCE, Red Hat Certified Engineer. I'm RHCSA, Red Hat Certified System Admin. I am ITL certified. There are many more. Okay, you can know more about my certification. You can look on my LinkedIn. The reason I'm saying all these, it's to give you an understanding. I am working in the same domain right now, in the same field. I know what is the requirement right now, how to go with the interview, what are the topics you need to know more. I don't go with books, guys. Let me be very clear. If you're expecting I'll go with books and just follow what Microsoft says, no, that is not the course is all about. I go with practical more, wherein you get practical understanding more, which you guys can start using in your day-to-day activity. Okay, let's talk about what this course is all about. As I said, the course duration is 65 plus days. It's a pretty big course, guys. There are so many tools and many things we are doing in this course. I prefer doing things practically. So if you see 85% practical, so whatever projects, whatever things we will be doing, we'll be doing live. So the way I have started the recording today, each session will get recorded. I'll be showing each and everything on the screen. I prefer doing things practically. We do have theory. I do have PPTs, guys. I prefer not to use PPT more. I prefer doing things practically and demonstrating what exactly you need to do. So that is what my preference is. But I do have theoretical, and for theory I do have PPTs. I'll take questions, Jishan. I'll take questions. Just give me 10 more minutes. I'll start taking
Okay.
questions. Okay. So I do have theory, but my focus area is practical. Whatever there are many projects we have. We have .NET project, we have database project, we have Java Maven project, we have integrations of many security tools with the pipelines. All those things are practically we do. We have Terraform, Kubernetes. So we prefer more doing things practically. And that is what my expectation is. Whatever I demonstrate, whatever demos we are doing, I want you guys to go and practice. I know many of you guys are working professional. You're already into some sort of domain or you are into DevOps. It's very difficult to have that much of time to go back and practice. That is the reason I have reduced the number of days I used to take training. Earlier, I used to take 5 days a week. Now I have reduced to 3 days. We have increased the duration. Earlier, I used to have 1 hour 15 minutes or 1 hour. Now we have increased to 1 hour 30 minutes so that you have sufficient time to study, go and do practice. So keeping all those factors in mind, we have done that. Okay. We do have weekly assignment. It's not just I'll keep on teaching and I'll keep on covering the topics. No, we do have, so whatever things we cover, for example, if I'm covering Git today in the week, if I'm covering Git, you will have a session weekly assignment to complete the Git questionnaires. We do have mock interviews. So I mentioned mock interviews. I do have mock interview sessions at the end, but that doesn't mean we'll wait till the end for mock interviews. So whenever I teach, okay, during those sessions itself, I keep on asking questions. Like suppose if I'm talking about Git, I'm teaching Git, like what is Git and all. At that time, I'll ask questions. While teaching, I'll ask questions like, suppose you have multiple branch, okay? Out of one branch, if you want a couple of commits to be pushed into your main developer release branch, what will be your strategy? That kind of question. So these are all practical questions. It's not what is Git and all. We don't do now. So even if you have given interviews, you know it's not that straightforward now that what is Git and how do you create branch and all. No, it's all practical questions. You need to answer, you need to think. If you have worked on those tools, then only you can answer such questions. So answering just whatever question I have asked regarding Git, so cherry picking, if you are aware of cherry picking concept, you can easily answer those. Okay, so that is that kind of practice. I keep it, and that is what I prefer doing it. We do have resume preparation, so I do have templates based on the course and the topics and everything whatever we cover. I do have resume preparation. I can connect with you guys one to one. If you have any issues, doubt, and you need any guidance from me, I can definitely have, you can reach out to Valaxy team. They can connect with me. Or the group which we will be creating, we do have, I'll be part of that group. You can reach out to me directly if you want. Okay. For any sort of one-to-one interaction. Now, the course start is 24th of June. Okay. It's morning 7 to 8:30 a.m. IST. In the morning, I'm keeping it in the morning so that you guys, if you have other commitments of going office and things like that, you can achieve it. Or else, if it's difficult for you to have the sessions on regular basis, things will be recorded, everything will be kept in the portal. The portal access will be given to you, and whatever I do on my screen, whatever piece of code I'm running, whatever commands I'm running, whatever PPTs demonstration I'm doing, everything will be shared with you on the same portal. So you will have access to each and everything, guys. Okay. The course will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. As I said, 3 days a week. I'm talking about IST. If you guys are from like US zone, then it will be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. If you're in US, okay, because it's Saturday for me. I think it's Sunday morning for you guys. It's Saturday midnight for me. So this is all about course, guys. Okay. Now the focal point, what this course talks about. Let me quickly have a look on that. Now when I say DevOps, okay, DevOps is basically development and operation team coming together, collaborating together, and XYZ thing happens. Okay, I'll talk about DevOps in details later when we start the course. Okay, but for now, when we say DevOps, okay, there are multiple other things comes with it. In order to be good in DevOps, in order to get yourself into a DevOps engineer role, in order to perform well into DevOps, you just don't need to know about DevOps tool. There are many things in which runs around DevOps. Now, when you want to come into DevOps, the first thing you should know about operating system. You should know, most importantly, you should know how to work with Linux. Then you should have better understanding of cloud services like Azure, AWS. You should be well aware of repository management. Now, many of you say, I get a lot of questions like, why do we need to know about repository management? Are we a developer? No, you're not a developer, but you are the person defining the branching merging strategy. You are the person creating those important branches. You are the person writing scripts, getting YAML scripts created, pushing that to the Git repository. So you should know how repository management works. It's a very important topic. Being a DevOps engineer, you need to have expertise in repository management. You should know what are the different branching strategies. You should know how do we cherry pick, how do we rebase, how do we do a fast forward commit, how do we do non fast forward commit, how do we do merge commit, all these factors. What are PRs, how do we create PRs, what are the gates we can implement, how do we add approvals. So all these are very important topic, and this is your bread and butter if you want to be into DevOps. Programming, you don't need to be a programmer. Again, being a DevOps engineer, you don't need to know .NET, you don't need to know Java. The things which you need to know is you need to know how those application gets built. Now, if I'm talking about .NET, you should know what is MS build, what is BS build, how that .NET application gets built, how an artifact gets created. If I'm talking about Java, you should know what is Maven, what is Gradle, what is Ant, how this package manager works, what is NuGet, what is NPM. These are the things you should know. Okay, you are responsible for getting those application built, you are responsible for getting the artifacts created, you are responsible for getting the infrastructure created, you are responsible for getting the application deployed on the end server. Okay, IAC PAC is a very important concept now. Also, infrastructure as a code, pipeline as a code. Now in the world where we are heading now, we have AI in picture right now. Now even that AI comes hand to hand when you start working as a DevOps guy. So even that is coming in picture right now. You'll have to adapt to the AI tool as well. We'll talk about that later. I don't have any AI tool right now in this course, but we are in progress of getting integrated AI tools with your overall structure. Okay. But for now, IAC, PAC, infra as a code, pipeline as a code is the most important factor when you're working with DevOps. You need to know containerization. We are in the world of microservice where your modules get deployed into containers. You should know how to work with containers, how application gets deployed into container, how to debug a container, and those things. Orchestration, Kubernetes. You need to be well aware how to work with. So you don't need to be a Kubernetes admin, guys. So there are many confusion around people that, oh, okay, I have to be an administrator. No, being a DevOps engineer, the scope of Kubernetes, so whatever is required, how to create a pod, how to create services, how application gets deployed into Kubernetes, how to debug Kubernetes, how to work with cloud Kubernetes service like AKS, EKS, all those things will cover. How to monitor. So getting things deployed onto microservice, it becomes very clumsy. So many things were, so many containers, so many pods, and it becomes very clumsy. Monitoring those becomes a critical role. So that is where this monitoring comes in picture. And last but not the least, configuration management. Okay. In the world of so many servers we are working with, so many changes we're doing, we need to know configuration management. So the tool which we are covering in configuration management is Ansible. We'll see how we work with Ansible. We'll see how we integrate Ansible with our pipeline, CI/CD pipeline, and how do we automate. So that is what we'll see. And that was DevOps. I haven't spoken about DevSecOps. Okay. Now, overall, whatever this diagram you see, on top of it, we have security topics added everywhere. Now, when we are talking about Git, when you're pushing your code into a remote repository, when I say remote repository, I'm basically talking about cloud. So you need to make sure that you don't push any sensitive information into cloud. Now, if you push sensitive information, there's a great chance that you might end up publishing some critical information such as keys, passwords, certificates. So how do we restrict that? What are the security measures we can do? So that kind of things we cover. Talking about programming, the build pipelines, what we create, there are multiple. How do we execute unit test? How do we do code coverage? How do we integrate static code analysis? So in static code analysis, we are talking about SonarQube. So how exactly we are doing all those things will, from the security perspectives, we'll cover those part. Then IAC, when we are talking about Terraform, how do we make sure that whatever we are writing, the scripts we are writing in Terraform, is it secure? Is it right? Is it in the right format? Are we so all those? So we do have a tool wherein we are checking those. So basically, whatever we are doing, we'll have security tools integrated with those so that we make sure that whatever we are building, it is completely secure, and I'll not have any issues in production when the code gets deployed. So that kind of tool we are talking about. What this course journey will look like. Okay, it will start with Linux. I'm not covering Linux again. I'm repeating myself. It's not a Linux admin course. But if you guys are not familiar with Linux, I do cover basic commands of Linux, like which will get you started, like how do we SSH, how do we create directory, how do we create files, how do we work with VI editor, how do we install packages, how do we work with system services. All these basic idea I'll be covering. Okay, the reason I'll be covering because we'll be using Git, I'll be using Git, and we'll be using a bash shell wherein I'll be running all the Git commands. And at the same time, I'll be running bash commands too. So if you guys are not familiar with Linux, don't worry. This will be a starting point for you, wherein you will get a glimpse of how to work with Linux operating system. Okay, we'll work with Windows also, guys. It's not that I'll just stick with Linux. We'll have Windows also, Windows servers also created, wherein we'll be doing data. There is a project database automation on which I use Windows servers. Okay, I'll be preferring Azure Cloud in this because we are looking into Azure DevOps. So I want this to. So I'll be working with Azure Cloud too. So I'm not covering again Azure Cloud. We are not covering everything. There are services like AKS, ACR, Key Vault, Azure Active Directory, Entra ID, Azure Functions, Web Apps, and SQL database, storage account, VMs. So there are many services. Now, why exactly I'm covering? Are we learning cloud? No. The reason I'm covering, like, whatever application we'll be building and the applications we'll be creating, those application will get deployed on cloud. So in order to deploy, you should know how what those services are, how to work with those services. So keeping that in mind, we'll talk about Azure Cloud. Azure DevOps will be learning Azure DevOps 110%. Everything about Azure DevOps, how to work with Azure DevOps, what is Azure Artifacts, Azure Repos, work item management, pipelines, test management, other organization settings, project set related settings, permissions, user management, integration of Azure DevOps with Entra ID, Azure Cloud, service connection creation. So everything, whatever you talk about Azure DevOps, will be covering in this course. Followed by Git, we'll be covering Git in depth. Okay, I have around 5 to 6 sessions only on Git. So that kind of depth we are going and we are talking about Git. We talk about Slack. We'll talk about, and very important question: do we need to know coding? Do we do coding in this course? So if you know coding, it's well and good. It's an added advantage for you. Are we doing coding in this course? The answer is no. We are not doing coding, but we are writing scripts. We'll be writing YAML scripts. We'll be writing Terraform manifest files. We'll be writing Kubernetes manifest file. We'll be writing Ansible playbooks. We'll be writing Docker files. All these requires scripting understanding. Okay, so we will be doing those. Okay, so you don't need to worry if you have no background of coding. I cover everything from very scratch. So we build the base first, then I starting building my house on top of it. I don't start talking about directly. I don't do big creating pipelines and those things. I don't do creation of pipelines will come 3 weeks later, frankly speaking. If you guys are experienced enough who have already worked on these things, you might get initially you will see, okay, very basics we are going. No, when we start with basic, I take care of each and every person whoever joins the call. I want every person to understand what we are doing. I do start from basic, but we go at very advanced, wherein we are kind of creating microservice, 2 tier, 3 tier application, getting those images created, getting those images pushed into ACR, pulling the images, creating the pods, getting the pods deployed, the application deployed into pod, and then monitoring and those things. Okay, we are integrating Istio. So basically, we start from very basic, and we at the end of the day, you will be very familiar how to build a .NET application, how to build a Java Maven application, how to work with microservice application, how to work with monolithic applications, and those things. So you will have a better understanding at the end of the day. Okay. Monitoring, there are multiple tools I'm covering. To name few: Prometheus, Grafana. I do have metric server. I do have other tools also covered in this course. Talking about security, these are some high level security tools. What we are covering, we're talking about Talisman, we are covering SonarQube, we are covering Jacoco, we do have Helm charts, we do have Istio service mesh, and there are many more. Okay, it's not there in this PPT, but there are many more. You can see the course content, you will find the complete list of things we are covering in this course. Okay, and then we have live projects. It's only given 3 projects over here, but we have around 4 to 5 projects in this course. Okay, to name few, we are covering .NET application, Java Maven, SQL database automation, and I do have Kiali and Metrics Server as a monitoring tool. What we cover in this course, we do have mock interviews and resume prep. That is something I've already spoken about. So this is all about the course. This is what it looks like, guys, in reality. Okay, let me share the course content. Then it will start making more sense. Give me 1 minute. Let me just end this. Then I'll start taking questions, guys. I know many of you have multiple questions. Give me one quick minute. Where is that? Okay, this is the course content. I think Valaxy team will share if you don't have it. You have everything in it. What we are doing, what kind of Git securities we are doing, what are we doing with Azure repos, what are the different functionality we are doing, what is service connection, what is agent pools, Azure directory. So this is called as Entra ID now. So the name has changed. Azure App Service, Azure Kubernetes Service, Container Registry, and what we are doing with Ansible, configuration management, what we are doing with Ansible Vault, and what are the different pipe projects we are doing. Okay. And at the end, if you see what are the real-time projects we are doing, you will come to know over here. Okay. So this is the course content. So let's go through it. I'm not going through this entire course content. Just go through it and let me know if there's any doubt, any questions. So we are good to take questions now, guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask questions to me.
Hi, sir. Hope that you are fine there.
Sorry?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Tell me.
Okay. Sir, it's very good experience to listen to you. I have some reservation or questions. Hope that you will reply.
Yeah, tell me, please.
My first question is that the class type there are 3 weeks, 3 days in a week, and
Hmm.
you start a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Hmm.
As you are well aware, and as in the beginning of the class, you told that you are doing the job, and I am also doing the job. It is very difficult. Is it possible that we can start the class on alternative days instead of the continuous days?
Okay. Alternative days. Yeah. Okay. Do you have more
I, I,
questions?
I just want to say that, for instance, that the one class number one start on Monday, then Tuesday is off. That we have a plenty of time to revise or practice, because it's, I believe that it's the hands-on practice is necessary. And
Hmm.
then Wednesday there is a class, and Thursday is off, and we can practice. And Friday and Saturday, Sunday is off, and off from your side and off from the office. So we have a good time to practice these things. This is my first question, and
Hmm.
I have the other question. If you allow, may I ask?
Yeah, yeah. Please tell me.
Sir, uh, basically, I'm a professional, and
Hmm.
I'm doing a job.
Hmm.
And from last 24 years, I'm doing this job.
Okay.
That in the front end, we run the SAP application, and on the back end, we are working with the Oracle database.
Hmm.
2 years back, I start my cloud journey, and the material which I cover myself without any coaching, I did the easy 1 or 4.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, I am serving right now, but I could
Hmm.
not get or grab a job from the cloud side.
Hmm.
And my aim to attend this class is I want to learn something, and I am doing the practice of Azure Cloud. But my reservation is that, is it possible that I share my LinkedIn profile with you? That what are the reasons I could not get a job from in cloud?
Sure, you can do that, Jisan. No problem. Yeah.
How can I share with my LinkedIn profile with you?
You can just put it in the chat. If you have the link, you can put it in the chat. I can have a view.
And
Okay.
I couldn't see the chat window.
Yeah, yeah, you can see the chat window. Okay.
Where the red window is?
Yeah, it's in the like if you go at the top, there should be three dots. Just click on that. You'll see the chat window. You'll see
Okay.
messages from us. Okay, just let me answer your question. Then we can talk about that also. Okay. The first is talking about getting alternate dates. Okay. The reason we are keeping 3 days continuously is, understand, we are into we are everyone over here is a working professional. If we keep alternate days, it becomes very monotonous, and there is a chance that you will end up not joining the course. There's a chance you may end up leaving the course in between. So when we cover on a on a thought, when we cover 3 days, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever days we have, after 3 days you will have sufficient time. You will have 4 days. You will have your own weekends to go and practice and come up with questions. Now the problem is if I keep it Tuesday, then I take a gap, then I keep it Thursday, it doesn't work actually because we have tried and tested many things in past. This is, as I said, this is the 11th batch with Valaxy what we have. So it doesn't work exactly. Okay. So that is the reason we came up with a plan of doing 3 days and giving sufficient time to students so that they can go and learn, practice and come back with questions. So next week when we meet, the first thing I do is we have doubt solving. Like if anyone has any doubt, if you're stuck anywhere, then they do remote sharing, they share the things with me, and then that is how we take it further. So that is what it is. Talking about your journey in IT industry, you started with SAP and then you're in the back end you're using Oracle. Last 2 years you started with Azure Cloud and you said you have done AZ 104. The reason I have not seen your LinkedIn, but the reason you are not getting call from cloud is AZ 400 is just a starter kind of certification what you have
Easy
right
one the
now.
four, sir.
Yeah,
Easy
yeah,
one the four.
yeah, 104. That's a starter kind of certification. You get idea what is cloud. Now, in order to work as a cloud engineer, now see, the cloud engineer role is very specific. Now, those roles are not that like talking about your experience, 24 years of experience, those roles will not suffice. Okay. You have to target yourself a bigger role. You need to be either SRE, you need to talk about DevOps, so you need to know more, so like from the solution architecture perspective. So not just how to create VM, how and those things work. No, that will not work at this point of time. You need to know, like if I come up with a project like Jisan, this is the project, XYZ project written in .NET. Give me a complete solution architect, how this two-tier, three-tier application will work, what are the different components on service, how my flow will look like, how my application will be exposed to internet, what kind of security measure, where do we have the firewalls, where do we have WAF, what is the kind of storage we'll be using, and what kind of uh, backups we will be creating. So also you have to think from that perspective. And how do we automate this entire end to end? Like if I want my .NET application, if my developer pushes the code in the remote repository, how this application will be automatically built, how the infrastructure will be automatically created, how. So that level you have to go now. So that is for everyone, guys, not just because Jishan has 24 years of experience. If you guys are new or learning or new to IT industry or have 3 4 years of experience, that is what you need to target. Okay, you have to start basic and you need to target yourself to being a DevOps engineer, senior DevOps engineer, solution architect, principal architect, that kind of roles you have to go. Okay, for being at that level, you just cloud knowledge is not sufficient. Just thinking that you have cloud knowledge or just Azure DevOps knowledge or just some of the DevOps tools knowledge will not help you. Overall, you need to know how do I start myself, how do I finish myself. If a developer has this XYZ application, what will be the flow of that application, how this application will be deployed on end server. That kind of bridge you need to. So DevOps, when you say DevOps operation working together. Okay, getting your things ready and getting the things deployed, then having all the security measures on top of it, testing everything. So that is what the role should be. And when you have that kind of experience, when you have that kind of learnings in your backpack, you will start receiving all sort of interview calls, Nishan. Okay, I see your LinkedIn link. I'll update on that. I'll go through it
Okay.
and I'll update on that.
Okay. Sir, one more thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You are very
What?
kind enough.
Yeah, just
Hello.
give me 1 minute, Jisan. Yeah, you tell me. Belko, you can ask question after this, please.
Yes, how you doing, sir? My name is Belko, and I'm being the reason why I want to join this program because I was always trying to join the DevOps, program.
Hmm.
And one of my friends is already in the field, but he advised me how to start from this long journey. But accordingly to the research I'm keep doing, and I'm doing it day to day, and I'm very interested in how to become a DevOps engineer. But to be honest, I did not have any IT background, but I have a little bit of foundation. I've been not lying to you. Have a little bit of foundation, but as far as I don't know if guys like me can, if you will be able to sharpen my skill in order to become a DevOps engineer throughout this journey. That's number one question. And number two, I'm on the Eastern time, so I don't know where you are located in India, because right
No,
now
no.
is 10 p.m. my time here. So I'm trying to see how I'm gonna be able to manage this time frame between the time zone. So that should not be a big problem. As well as if we can, as well as share me your link, and so from there I can, I will be able to keep in touch with you directly for more information since this is a platform. And I'll be more than happy to join your program and all the details if I can get that as well. I would really appreciate it, not to take other people's time. This is me, so.
Thanks, Belko. Thanks for the question. Let me
Right,
just answer your question about the time zone first.
right,
So even I am in CST time zone, so it's 9:10 right now, midnight for me too. Okay, so it's late
okay.
night for me as well. Okay, and
Right.
so it's okay because this is the time what I get, wherein I can have extra things done.
Okay.
And talking about you're new to IT industry, I totally get it. Okay, as I started, like this course is for people. So basically, when I talk about this course, as I said earlier, I start with very basic, then we go to advanced. So one thing I missed it is this who can come in this course. So this is basically for people with lot of experience and they want to learn and a new domain and come into DevOps and want to learn more about DevOps. This is the course for them. This is a course for a newbie who has no knowledge about DevOps and he wants to learn and want to come in DevOps. This is a course for them. If you are into DevOps, have 3 4 years of experience and you want to enhance your skill set and want to take one more leap into DevOps journey, this is the course for them. So basically, this is for each and every person who wants to start your DevOps journey. Because when I say DevOps, we are talking about starting things from scratch and going till the advanced level. That is kind of things what we do. For people who are new to IT industry, you need to spend more time, like whatever practical stuff I am doing, you need to go and practice it, spend more time learning, and then that is how after 3 months down the line, you will be confident enough to start giving interviews. The whole point of this course is I want you guys to be interview ready. Okay, it's not about learning. I want you guys to be ready down the line. You should have that kind of confidence that you can easily put 3 4 5 years of experience based on whatever you're doing of DevOps role, and you can talk about various projects we have done in this course. You can talk about those things in an interview. And if you're already working as a DevOps engineers, I'll be sharing my experience. You can have those things implemented. Like what is templating? How do we use templating? What can we do to enhance security and those things? So again, if you're already working as a DevOps engineer, this is an opportunity for you to move one step ahead. So that is what we do, Belco. So if you
Thank
are
you so
in
much.
new in IT industry, don't worry, we'll take care of it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Jisan, tell me, you have one questions.
Yes, sir. Sir, first I did the AZ 900, then 104. Okay. My question is that what you suggest I share my LinkedIn profile with you? What you suggest that I go that the Valaxy offering the solution architect, or which route I adopt, whether the selection solution architect or the DevOps? Kindly guide me about that.
So directly jumping to solution architect will not help you, Jason, because in order to jump onto the solution, it's a pretty big role. When we talk about solution architect, it's a big role. You need to have a better understanding the overall program, how things work, how things gets built, how application works, and how what are the services we talk about. So this is your building block. This will be your building block, which will give you 3 4 years of experience in DevOps. Then you can have those experience added. Then you talk about solution architect. So directly solution architect, I'll not suggest. It's this journey starts from DevOps engineer, senior DevOps engineer, then you will have some technical specialist, senior technical specialist, then the solution architect comes in picture. So that is how the journey will begin. But considering your experience after this course, I'll suggest you to go and target the solution architect role, because you have that kind of experience which you can demonstrate in an interview. So you can not
Okay.
talk, don't consider yourself only as a DevOps engineer. You have to portray yourself as a solution architect guy. But for that, you need to know how this basic thing works first, how this exactly the overall microservice monolithic application end-to-end deployment and those things works. That is how you have to start your journey. That is what my suggestion will be.
Sir, one last thing is that you discuss about the Linux. Uh, which Linux is beneficial for us, whether we use a GUI or command line?
See, any flavor is fine for me, okay, but I prefer using the black screen. So even in this course, we'll be using this terminal, this black screen. Now, again, one
Okay,
question. I know many of you might have Windows machine, and you will see how do, because I'm using Mac. Doesn't matter, guys. Underlying operating system doesn't matter whether I'm using Mac, you guys are using Windows, you guys are using Linux, doesn't matter, because whatever I'll be doing, I'll be giving you a way out to get this black screen on Windows. Whatever commands I'll be executing on my screen, the same set of commands you can run on your screen also. So irrespective of underlying Windows or Mac operating system, it doesn't matter. Okay. Answering to the question what Jishan has asked, we'll be using this black screen. Okay, for many things. Okay, Jishan, I
you want
need
to
to
say
take
command line?
command line. Yes,
Okay. And sir, there are many flavors, CentOS and Ubuntu. You are
doesn't
well aware.
doesn't matter. We can use any
Doesn't matter.
flavor. Doesn't matter.
Okay,
We'll be using Ubuntu most of the time, but it doesn't matter. The whatever
okay,
topics we have, it can work on anything.
okay.
Okay, yeah, Santosh, you have questions, please.
Yeah, thank you, Rohit. Just to give a quick intro, like I have been working as a Microsoft SQL Server database administrator for the last 10 plus years now, and I have been handling on-prem and cloud servers, but I don't have any exposure how these VMs are created, because there's a dedicated team in the cloud that create the VMs, and then we are just allowed to connect and do our stuff as a database administrator. Nothing beyond that. How it is created, what happens in the cloud, what kind of VMs are created, that is completely encapsulated for us. So as far as what Azure is concerned, it's pretty late for me, but better late than never. I have no exposure to cloud as such. The Azure or the Git that you just said, the only thing I know about Git is, honestly, if I say, the only thing I know is the spelling GIT. That's all. I have heard a lot about it, but never got a chance or never was so much interested to get into it. But nowadays, looking at the trend and looking at what is happening around, I think it is time that I start getting my hands dirty in this. So that is first thing I just wanted to share and understand that I have no knowledge absolutely about Git or any other things that you just spoke about. But I am working as a database administrator, Microsoft SQL Server database administrator for the last 10 plus years. That is first part. And the second thing, if I understand correctly about DevOps, it is more about development. My role has been into database administrations, to a basic level of basic coding also I can do, writing some basic scripts, pulling some data from the SQL server, but admin related scripts, doing some basic joins and then pulling some data, that is okay. But this course, I just wanted to understand how can it blend with me as an administrator, because if I understand, this is more about development, how to develop and then deploy, and how to automate that, if I understand correctly, or if I whatever I'm understanding from the words or whatever the jargons are going on, like it is about development and deploying it and synchronizing the different stages, so that the entire development and deployment is in one shot or becomes smooth. So that is what my guess and understanding is. I would request you to put some shed some light on this and how it can blend with me. Thank you so much. Over to you, Rohit.
Thanks, Santosh. Okay, so firstly, you have 10 years of experience as a SQL database admin. So you have, so in this course, like if you have noticed, there is a topic, okay, SQL database automation. Okay. Now, I know you have worked yourself as a database admin. Now you are looking something and you want to grow in cloud. Okay. Now, let me just reiterate one thing again. Okay. This course is all about starting things from scratch. Okay. And taking till the advanced topics. Okay. Talking about Santosh, he is already mostly he's already familiar with how this IT industry works. So he's already one step ahead. Okay. Now gauging his experience and converting that into what is required in today's world. That is what we are looking forward to. Now, already working as a SQL DB admin, he has a very good understanding of how database works and things like that. Now, when we talk about DevOps, so I have worked on one project, okay, wherein I have automated 150 plus SQL databases. We know the database admin role now, how the SQL developer, they create the scripts, they give it to the DB admins, they execute it on the server directly. That is how traditionally it works. Now even that is taking a route. Okay, now those days are gone that we are involving database admins now to running the script, because everything gets executed through pipelines. We get the SQL database converted as a DAC package, so data tier application packaging method what we use. We package it and we have pipelines created, so the developer will be simply putting his script in that package, pushing the things into a Git repository. From there the thing gets automated and it will get deployed to all the database server. That kind of automation we are talking about, Santosh. So when I did the project, when I said 150 plus developer database we have converted, at that time we had around 13 to 14 dbas in that project. After doing this automation, that count was reduced to 3 dBAs, because there was nothing to do for the dBAs after that, because everything was automated. The developer has all the rights. He can simply create the script, push it to the Git and get the things deployed. So that is what the next step should be, Santosh, for you. You need to have better understanding of this overall flow. You need to get yourself from the DBA role and need to look more forward into cloud, how this SQL server gets created, how this cloud works, what is DAC pack, how the CI/CD works. I know, and we are not coding. Okay. Again, I'm repeating myself. Being a DevOps engineer, I will not create applications. That is not my role. My role is how this application can be built, how this application can be tested, how this application artifact can be created, how this application can get deployed. That is what my role is. Same thing with, if I'm doing a database automation, how a DAC package gets created, How do I handle SQL scripts? How do I handle object creation? How do I handle data table creation, store procedure creation, function creation, view creation? That is, all the scripts will be written by the SQL developer themselves. They will be putting those scripts in the package which I have created and the automation which I have created. That is how you need to get yourself into this new world. Now, this is again, you have to think forward. Everyone, not just Santosh. It's you have to think forward. Whatever you're doing right now, how do I take it further with this new scope what we have now? We have this AI coming in right now, guys. So DevOps, DevSecOps, now this AI thing is also coming on ahead. So we need to think forward. How do we get all this implemented with the existing process? Because you need to think forward. Like again, considering with your role, think like after 2 3 years down the line, will I be able to switch? And if I'm able to switch, will I get a 20% hike? What is the skill set you have right now that it will give you 20 to 30% hike or more? So that you need to think like, where are you standing right now? What should be my next step? And you need to think from what you're doing right now. It's not that you completely are into something and you just switch over to something, a new domain where you're lost. No. Now, being Santosh, if I'm Santosh, I have 10 years of experience of database. I'll keep that in my hand and then I'll learn DevOps. I'll talk about database automation. I'll talk about many things and I'll add those things in this 10 years of experience. That last 3 years, 4 years, I was doing this. This is what we have achieved. We have achieved DACPAC creation. We have got 10 projects implemented, which has reduced the DBA overall responsibility so that the DBA can focus on other things. DBA can focus on other factors. The DBA can focus on backpacks. The DBA can focus on different stuff. There are many things DBA does, guys. Okay, so that is how you need to transition yourself, Santosh. Hope that helps. Okay. Any other question, guys? Anyone? Uh, so it's 9:26. Already we do have four
Hello.
minutes, guys. Yeah, Karthik, tell me.
Hi Rohit, this is Karthik. I've been working in one of MNC company. It's a supply chain company. So from the past 4 years, where I designated as a operation executive or analyst. This designation matters while giving the interview.
Operation executive.
Yeah,
What is your role as operation executive?
it just we receive the data, we clean it and upload it in the server. We are working on Excel only, purely on Excel basis.
Is it kind of a ETL process?
Yeah,
Okay, extracting the data, transforming and loading to some end server.
loading. Yeah.
Okay. See, so you said you have 4 years of experience as a operation executive is the title what you have, correct? And
Yes.
you have a doubt whether you will get a job with that title or not, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay, now you have to play smart over here, guys. Okay, so this title doesn't matter. Okay,
Okay.
operation executive. There are many titles you will get, which frankly doesn't matter unless and until you have that skill set. All these titles and everything doesn't matter. Now, this 4 years of experience, you do have ETL process in hand. You know how this ETL works. So you have to, after this training, when you get the knowledge of DevOps and when you get the knowledge of different project, how this CI/CD and everything works, at that time with this ETL, you have to keep this ETL in your resume. With this ETL, you need to mention all the various projects what you have learned. So the reason I'm
Okay.
saying learning and implementing and doing things by yourself. When whatever demos I'll be doing, if you implement those demos by yourself multiple times, that gets fit in your memory. So whenever there is a question like how the CI/CD works, how do you automate, what is Git and that, you can talk about your experience because you have practiced those. If you don't practice, if you just listen to me and you go and come back tomorrow again, and if you're just listening and you're not doing practical stuff by yourself, then there's no use. Okay, it will be useful when you go and practice things by yourself, do things by yourself, fail 10 times, then 11 times you're able to automate. That is when it will fit in your memory. And when you start giving interview of DevOps role, you talk about your ETL because that is something you're doing for 4 years. You know in and out everything about it. And at the same time, talk about your DevOps, that how you have implemented this, that in your company. And if you're able to tackle those DevOps questions, your title doesn't matter. Frankly speaking, it doesn't matter in reality.
Okay.
Okay.
And I would like to spend more on DevOps this course only. Should I resign a job, or is it gap matters? Should I resign?
I I
Huh?
don't suggest get resigning and learning then looking.
Okay.
Parallelly do your thing, whatever you're doing right now. Parallelly learn, upgrade your skill set, and parallelly start looking. It's not easy journey. After learning, practicing, you have to give interviews, guys. I'm not expecting that out of five you will get one offer letter. You're very lucky if you're getting it. I want each and everyone, if you give at least 10, 20 interviews. It's why you're learning what they are asking, what is the requirement in the company, what is the requirement in the market. That is what you need to do. And out of that, select what job you want. See, I am not looking for any job change myself, but I keep on giving interviews. Today also I gave one interview. Why? The reason why I'm giving interviews, just to know what's going on in the market. I don't want to switch. I'm very happy with my company, but I, because I'm in the teaching environment also, I want to know what's going on in the market, what type of questions they're asking, what kind of tools they are introducing, and those things I want to have those experience. Then only I can share those experience with you all. So for that purpose, I keep on giving interviews. Okay, that is what I want you guys to do it. Okay, but no need. I won't suggest leaving your job and learning and then looking for a job. Stick with your job, take out time and start upgrade your skill set. And once you have the right skill set, then look for DevOps role. That is what I would suggest.
Okay. 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 Thanks. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, more 5 minutes, then we can wind up. Any other
Rohit,
Uh,
questions? Yeah,
so
Hemant.
Rohit, you said that after this course is completed, we should be able to project as if like we have almost like 3 to 5 years of experience in
Y-
DevOps.
Yes, very easily. You have 10 years of experience as a DB. I'll suggest put 4 5 years of experience at a Dev. Along with DB, I was handling DevOps role. That is how you should
Mm-hmm.
project yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because
Thank.
see, if you go as a fresher in DevOps, they will not even pick your resume, guys. Frankly,
Mm-hmm.
that's the truth right now. Your resume goes to an HR. The HR has no knowledge about what technical tools you worked and things like that. If you don't put bay starter into DevOps, they will not pick your resume.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to project yourself as 4 5 years of experience into DevOps. But when can you do that? When you practice things by yourself, whatever things we have done, the demo we have done, if you practice those things by yourself and you spend time, your hours in practicing those, then you can do it. Just listening to me, watching the recording and going for an interview will not help. Frankly, it's waste of time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, Hemant.
Thank you.
yeah, Rohit, I do have an
Yeah,
experience of almost close to 15 years. Okay, and it's in the infrastructure part. That is, from the very beginning, I worked in data centers, and I used to look into the storage right now. So, from my perspective, like if I'll say like, how would I be able to justify my experience? How can I like, and moreover, like, does it needs coding because I'm not good at coding at all?
good question, Hemant. Okay, 15 years of experience into data center and into storage. Very good. Coding, as I said earlier, also, guys, we don't do coding in this course. You don't need to be an expert in coding. We do write scripts. I'll be writing YAML scripts. I'll be writing Terraform scripts. I'll be writing Ansible playbooks. I'll be teaching you how exactly those are done because that's a core
And
responsibility of a DevOps engineer. Yeah,
Python, are we covering Python as well? A little bit in it?
Python. Good question. Okay, let me cover those things for you. Okay, are you done with your question, Hemant?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, very good. Two. So starting with your 15 years of experience as a data center and a storage engineer, how do you portray yourself? That's the first question. you have a very good experience into data center. So on-prem, how on-prem infrastructure works, how a on-prem VM works, how on-prem glasshouse work, you have a better understanding. Because when we're talking about DevOps, we're not just talking about cloud. There will be on-prem servers where the application will be deployed. Okay, so you have a better understanding from that perspective. So that is how you need to see, each one have some other sort of experience, but you need to gel yourself. After learning, you need to think, how can I use this skill set in my existing resume? How can I portray myself as a data center engineer? And eventually I have upgraded myself into a DevOps, and I was handling with DevOps role also. That kind of thing we need to think. Okay, that is how you need to transition yourself from one role to other role. That is how you will put in things in your resume. Because just calling yourself a data center and storage, you cannot make the cut of DevOps. You have to put things into your resume that that is what I was doing core. And for a couple of projects I was assisting as a DevOps, and I do have experience into DevOps. That is how you need to transition yourself. Talking about coding, as I said, we don't do coding. We do scripting. For automation, we do require scripting knowledge. So that is what I'll cover in this course. Talking about Python, no, we are not covering Python in this course. But once you are familiar with this DevOps, after this DevOps course, once you get familiar and you start working as a DevOps engineer and you have spent a year into DevOps role, I will suggest to go for some coding knowledge as well. Which coding knowledge? Python is your choice, okay? I prefer more of going in depth into PowerShell scripting and shell scripting, because this is two things you will come across a lot. Okay, when you're working with on-prem servers, mostly those are Windows servers. How you will be automating, mostly you'll be using PowerShell. Like for example, if you're working with IIS web server, so when you're automating your pipelines, how this IIS application pool gets created, how this IIS application pool gets restarted, all these needs to be done using PowerShell, or you will be using some sort of task in your pipeline which will do that for you. So once you get familiar, so I want being if you want to achieve things in DevOps, then scripting, in-depth knowledge of scripting, what I'll suggest, Python and all, Python scripting and all, we don't use it. See, I'm into this role from last 10 years. I'm Python. I was teaching Python also earlier. Okay. I don't use Python anywhere. Frankly, I don't use in my day-to-day activity. I no don't use Python anywhere. The things which I use YAML scripting, I use Terraform, I use write playbooks, and at a stretch, I write shell scripts, I write PowerShell scripts for automating the pipeline. That is what I do. I do have Python knowledge. I used to be into Python. I have created applications in Python, but today, last 5 years, I have not written any Python code because that is not my requirement. That is why we don't have Python in this course, or else I would have added Python. Because the reality is, most of the companies, MNCs you work, they have monolithic applications. They have on-prem VMs. They have 90% they have Windows servers. So you will not get into Python and all at all. So that's a reality. That's a fact. The other 10%, they are into Kubernetes, they are into containers, they are into clusters, and that is what. So over there also you will not have this Python. Where you get Python, where you are into some sort of startup company where they have Python based applications. So being a DevOps engineer, you don't need to write Python code again. Even though if you're working with those companies, you don't need to write Python code. You need to know how this Python application will be deployed. That's it. That is what you need to do. Okay. So coding knowledge is not required if you want to get into DevOps. Scripting knowledge is required. So if someone say no coding at all, so that's a big lie. You need to have, if you are good with scripting, you can go places in DevOps. Okay. Hope that helps, Hemant. Okay,
Okay.
guys. So we are about time. I'll wind up for today. If you have any questions, please reach out to Valaxy team. and they can connect you to me if still have doubt. We can wind up and we can come back on Tuesday, India time, 7 in the morning, and we can, if you want further discussion, we can do further discussion. And at that time, I'll talk about the prerequisites. What are the different cloud sign-in is required? What are the different tools are required? I'll talk about that. And if time permits, we'll start with the first topic of work item management. Okay, initially it's quite kind of a theory. Couple of days we'll do theory, guys, because I want to build the base first. What is DevOps? What is things and that, and then once you're familiar with those theory, maybe next week onwards, next to next week onwards, we'll start with more practical stuff. Okay?
Sir, one last thing, if you allow.
Yeah,
Okay,
Jishan,
no
tell me.
problem.
Yeah, Jishan, tell me. I'll take the
Sir,
Elko questions also.
sir, I just want to ask that we listen again and again and many times DevOps. Now the course introduced offered by you Dev SEC Ops. What's the difference?
Okay, so when we just talk about DevOps, it's only talking about the DevOps, how the development operation team collaborating and getting things done. Okay, so basically, a DevOps engineer is a bridge between a development and operational team. When we talk about DevSecOps, we are talking about the security aspect. Okay, so now in the world where you are, you're just not creating CI/CD pipeline. You need to think from out of the box. You need to think, how do I secure those pipelines? Is my pipeline secure? The build which we are doing, the third-party packages which I'm downloading, is it secure? Are we making sure those packages are scanned? Are we making sure whatever the coding the developer has done is passing all the unit test cases? Are we making sure we have analyzed and scanned all the piece of code? Are we are we are making sure are we not introducing a new bug or a issue in a production? So that factors. So building, releasing is the day-to-day activity, but putting all the security measures at every important checkpoint is the most important task in today's world. Because anything without security is not making any sense. If you're living in a society and you don't have a security guard or cameras watching things, there's no anyone can come and can steal anything from your building, your premises. So why do you put watchmen? Why do you put cameras? So these are security measures. Same thing happens with their application. If you don't have security measures, if you don't have scanning happening, then you can introduce new bug issues into your production which can harm your overall application. So that is where this DevSecOps comes in picture. So along with your DevOps, on top of it, you have all the security measures in place, which is making sure that you're not introducing any new issues in your overall workflow. Okay.
Sir, as you mentioned that we use the security, which tool we use for security purpose?
There are many tools, Jishan. There are many tools. Just
For instance,
for SonarQube, we have Jacoco, we have Talisman, we have Istio Service Mesh. So there are many tools in this overall course we are referring. Just go through the
uh,
course content, Jishan, and you will have better understanding of what we are doing.
okay, sir. Last thing is that I shared my LinkedIn profile in the text. Kindly review that.
I'll do it. I have it open in front of me. Don't worry.
You are very kind, sir.
Ro- Rohit, as you said that this is the 11th batch, and if I recall, you also said that currently this course is not integrating or not integrated with the AI tools.
Correct.
So when is this expected? I mean, like in the next couple of batches, or it is going to take some time for the Valaxy team to incorporate the AI tools in this course, or how is it? Any idea on that, please?
It's not about the Valaxy team. It's something I can do it. So see, this course is already 3 months long. Okay. Now I am thinking, see, this could be your the advanced course in DevOps, DevSecOps. The next what you can take is the AI integrated DevOps course. So I'm still in the phase of creating those course curriculum and still seeing what are the various tools we can cover. So it's still in learning, I would say, Santosh. So yeah, you can expect down the line around two, 2, 3 batches. You might have this course will already be there. This course is going nowhere. This will be there because that's your starting point. You cannot directly jump onto AI DevOps integration because that will not make any sense if I directly start teaching you AI DevOps integration. Okay, this will be there, followed by you can have a new course wherein we can talk about AI DevOps integration. That is my future plan. I'm just sharing with you. It's not official yet,
Okay. Okay.
but
Thank you.
this is what my plan is. So I have
Hmm.
all my students with me. As soon as if I come up with this course, I'll pass those messages to everyone. Don't worry, it will be shared with everyone. That is what
Okay.
the plan is for future. Okay, I'll just take last question from Belko. Belko had some questions, then I'll have to wind up.
Yes, I'm sorry. Since I'm on the Eastern time, so the same time as we start today will be okay, Tuesday or the 24th, right?
Not Tuesday for you, Belko. It will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for you.
Monday,
So
Tuesday, Wednesday.
yeah, it will be 23rd for you, same time.
Oh, okay, okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday,
Uh,
Thursday is for folks in India. For folks in US, it is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. From it's gonna be 9:30 p.m. in my time, right?
Perfect. Yeah,
Okay,
that's right. 9:30 for you. Correct.
not a problem. Thank you so much, and I will be contacting your admin about the pricing and all
Sh-
this kind of stuff.
Sure, sure. Please do that. And
Okay,
thank you guys. I'll wind up now. Okay. And thank you
thank
for
you.
joining everyone.
Okay, thank you.
If there are more doubts, more questions needs to be answered, please join the Tuesday call. We can have more discussion done. Okay. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your time, and hope to see you all
Thank you,
in my
Rohit.
Tuesday
Thank you.
batch. Thank you.